alkali food should be the only food. Next question. Do I recommend that is cooked? The sister's asking, do I recommend alkaline food that is cooked? There has always been that myth that when you cook a substance, it has lost all its enzymes, all its strength. Well, why is it that I cook the roots of these herbs and people are cured of leukemia and they're cured of AIDS? And to cure leukemia and AIDS, it has to be very powerful, right? Well, why did the herb lose its strength? Beautiful question. Anything that God makes never loses strength. You could boil it, you could burn it to an ash and grind it to charcoal. It is still alive. Anything that is natural changes state but never dies. But like carrots, it doesn't matter whether you cook it or not, it's not going to feed you anything. So your answer is, lady, is that if it is natural, it doesn't matter whether you cook it or not. It's electrical.
Exterior to themselves to be happy. No person, place, or thing. And that true happiness is found within. Teach them that they are sufficient unto themselves. Teach them this and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that failure is a fiction, that every trying is a success, and that every effort is what achieves the victory. The first no less honorable than the last. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that they are deeply connected to all of life, that they are one with all people, that they are never separate from God. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that they live in a world of magnificent abundance, that there is enough for everyone, and that it is in sharing the most, not in gathering the most is received. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that there is nothing that they are required to be or to do to be eligible for a life of dignity and fulfillment, that they need not compete with anyone for anything, and that God's blessings are meant for everyone. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly.
Teach your children that they will never be judged, that they need not worry about always getting it right, and that they do not have to change anything or get better to be seen as perfect and beautiful in the eyes of God. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that consequences and punishment are not the same thing, that death does not exist, and that God would never condemn anyone. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that there are no conditions to love, that they need not worry about ever losing your love or God's, and that their own love, unconditionally shared, is the greatest gift they can give to the world. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that being special does not mean being better, that claiming superiority over someone is not seeing them for who they really are, and that there is great healing in acknowledging mine is not a better way, mine is merely another way. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach your children that there is nothing they cannot do, that the illusion of ignorance can be eradicated from the earth, and that all anyone really needs is to be given back to themselves by being reminded of who they really are. Teach them this, and you will have taught them grandly. Teach these things not with your words, but with with your actions, not with discussion, but with demonstration. For it is not what you do that your children will emulate, but how you are that they will become.
Continent! Mutabaruka! We are listening to our amends! You know here! Continent! The end! The end!
Thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
kusen amala kama konda babo haya buke kusen ajiyelele babo ji omo ajiyelele babo ji omo amala kama konda haya buke kusen amala kama konda babo haya buke kusen ajiyelele babo ji omo aji omo hela babo ji omo amala kama konda haya buke amala kama konda babo haya buke kusen aji omo babo ji omo aji elele hela babo ji omo amala kama konda.
More time, 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 one more time.
Amala kama konda haya buke kusen babo haya buke kusen ajiyelele babo ji omo ajiyelele babo ji omo amala kama konda haya buke kusen amala kama konda babo haya buke kusen ajiyelele babo ji omo ajiyomo hela babo ji omo.
You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to the whole of it. You know here, continent, the end, the end.
Amanani, namanani, amanani, ne wolo na bere manani follow. Amangwasi, mfamangwasi, amangwasi, ne wolo fa bere mangwasi follow. Kankarifa sambali kuyoro de ninkarifa babili kuyoro de ninkarifa. Karifa Maria Mukunyoro Dendi Karifa Tamanyawo Kankarifa Tamanyawo Kankarifa Kankarifa Tamanyawo Kankarifa Kankarifa Tamanyawo Kankarifa Barikare Tena Kuyora Denda Karifa Karifa Barikare sira kunyoro denda Karifa Baba sira kunyoro denda Karifa Barikare nani kunyoro denda Karifa Kologona makunyoro denda Karifa Ada Karifa sona sina kunyoro denda Karifa Tamanyogo Kam Karifa mandini mokosa baba ni bulalo konyolo
like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka. thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Yeah, good night. This is the Cutting Edge, and I refer every day. I will do it next Wednesday. So, you know, everybody have played the up-tempo European techno music. Well, we decided we're going to play the up-tempo African techno music. Yes. Africa in all its difference musically. Cutting Edge. Well, I drown myself with that techno music during the weekend. I want for the Caribbean Fashion Week, and I decide, say, watch ya, I have to come out of that mood there and get in some African mood, you understand? So, African style, yes. Yeah, this is the culture. You know, we have a surprise brethren just passed through here from England. I do some work for me in England there, and he is here doing some work for the footballer from which team?
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Where the footballer name?
Daniel Sturridge.
Daniel Sturridge.
Yeah.
Well, we don't really know into the football thing, you know, but the brethren is a professional. Well, our Ankobia, if Ankobia, well, she must listen. You tell her, I say, you're going to come here for me. Ankobia, listen. But I tell you that sister there is something else, you know, because, you know, she document the continent to them from them time there. She have them in a chronological order and set them in a way where for future people, future generation who did want to hear about the continent can know about it. Well, now she embarked on a next project for me where is editing a show with it do in the drum in a Birmingham. We do this drum. About how much years ago we did that show there? 2005. About 5 years ago? 10 years ago. 10 years ago. 10 years already?
Yeah, 2005.
10 years ago we did the show, and it is now being edited by this brethren. You know, so the first brethren never years come from England, so like African brethren.
Yeah,
so our Uncle knows Mark in the studio with me, in past through, and you know, say I do some work for Manchester footballer.
Yeah,
Liverpool footballer. Yeah, him a pass through, and I'm glad to see him because you always talk about him and say him do the editing, and the editing looks sweet, and I said the editing looks sweet too, and I'm glad to meet the brethren. The brethren say, no, I'm my cousin too. That's how it work. You know Larry? Larry Cook. That is so sweet, man. That is so sweet. But we give thanks, you know. We give thanks, say, do that for it still. Because, you know, Ankobia did say, should I get somebody to edit it, and you are the best person to edit it. And now, me meet you, and where say your father listen to Cutting Edge religiously?
Dennis Hamilton, Hatman.
Come up, Pastor. Come up near me. Come up near me. Where is it all? Tell me.
Alright, my dad been listening to the show from I was about 5 or 6. And my dad's name is Dennis Hamilton Hatman.
and my mom's name is Paulette Hamilton.
You know, say, he might go drop down with the radio on the radio, you know, in Jamaica.
Because it's gone to the level where he's going to hear his son on the radio with someone that he listens to weekly. Yeah, man, he listens to the show hard.
So when Uncle Kobe approached you for edit this thing, where is it to her?
I mean, she come to me and she was on a documentary I made called Uncle Tom last year. So from when she helped me out with that documentary and she come to me, she only had to ask, and I said anything you need, and we spent every night in the studio for about 3 weeks working on it. And I just said anything you need, and from when she said it was you as well, I said whatever I can do. Whatever I can do to help the project.
Yeah, man, I give thanks, man. I tell you, I have to give thanks to that sister there. You know, we had a little short piece of time when we know her. She has done so much for the Cutting Edge program and so much for I personally in terms of documentation. And now, if she did shot the show where we are talking about in the drum. I think she used about 3 cameras or something like that. I don't remember how much camera she used.
Basically, they had 4 cameras, but one of the batteries died. And then she had the sound as well coming from the mixer, and they put it all together. It looks beautiful. The cover looks really good. It's something that people should definitely, I would call it a collector's item. It's a collector's item. If you're a Mutabaruka fan, you definitely need to buy it. 100%, man. Yeah.
Well, I never know. It's 10 years ago I did that thing there. It looks shorter to me, but I really 10 years with you, you know. My
dad was there that night.
Yeah, and it's one of the the place it's so packed that people did vex to them couldn't get for coming in. Yeah. So you have your audience you edit the audience tonight too.
Yeah, man, you can see all the audience. You can see the audience. You can see the view with you on the stage and the view.
And the interview with me and the door. The other poet, that interview me. I can't remember. Oh, make me forget him. Eh?
Glenn is Mark.
Glenn, yeah. But yes, give thanks. And so you say you do this shooting. What kind of shooting you do? Where you do? You follow around the footballer and shoot.
Basically, what I'm doing here, there's an event that they are putting on, a free event. They're giving back to the community. So Daniel's come home and his dad, Michael Storage, and they're putting on an event with all the top artists and a football competition where somebody's going to win the chance to come to England and play for a team. Yeah. So I'm going to be the one.
I wanted the sportsman them about to hear this thing. We should have get the sportsman them to come deal with this thing. You know, which one tell you yesterday? The real. Yeah. Oh, that's a don't so. Yeah, all right. You know, so I'm going to talk to the sports people. Them make them come check you.
Yeah, man.
And check the footballer. Yeah. I'm going to talk to them tomorrow and make them come down. They come do a thing. I don't know if them know about it already. Maybe them know, but if them don't know, it's not nice for them come down, they come.
Because they're given a very big opportunity that somebody's going to get to go.
To England.
Yeah, play for a semi-professional team.
So the brethren who is there is Liverpool in play for. Yeah. The RFM sports people them supposed to know, because I don't really know nothing about Liverpool and Manchester football. I don't watch football. I listen to football unless it's World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and when my team I lose, me vex. Brazil. You understand? But it's stuck in Nigeria. I watch Brazil lose. I vex it, man.
Oh, you mean the 6-1?
With Germany. I vex. Like, no, you know, I vex with the Brazilian. They don't vex.
That's a beating.
Yeah. That's a serious beating. But yeah, man. And Kobia. Your brethren fast through, so we give thanks. I'm back to the normal program. Yellow brethren.
Yes.
Am I the driver?
Yeah, man, long time listener as well, man.
Are you the driver?
I always see at night time down at the gas station when you have the show.
When we go full up my gas tank.
Yeah.
So you watch me. But I watch me, I'm going to start getting security guard, believe me over here. I know the ones a long time I watch me from Douglas. Anyway, Continent. Yes, may I tell you, tribal music. I say me hear a man I call me name that the middle of that tune. Mota. The serious thing.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to all of it. Did I hear? Continent. The end. The end.
Yeah, at 11 o'clock we go interview a sister named Khalifa Sena, natural health consultant. Yes, she work out of Portland, but she is planning to do some work in Kingston. So we want to talk to Khalifa Sena at 11 o'clock. And then we go and go to something else, may I tell you. You know, so this year is the 25th anniversary of IRFM. 25 years since IRFM debuted. Yeah. You know, so we have played that tune for Sister P in Portland. Yes, we have played that tune for Sister P in Portland. Torakunda, yeah man, Fatio, all time African music from them days there.
Thought-provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Out of the Ivory Coast.
How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man, yeah, to see the unification of all Africans, yeah. Let it be done right now. We are the children of the Rasta man. We are the children of the Iron Man. So, Africa, unite.
Yeah, I don't remember if I did say, you know, say, we left Ivory Coast, and as we left Ivory Coast, we used to them ban bleaching cream. It's them ban bleaching cream in the Ivory Coast. You know, say in a Gambia, you can't go to jail for bleach your face. Yes, I told them, man, they do it in Africa, you know. It will get too terrible. If I try to do that Jamaica man, I talk about you're free to do what you want to do, but everything free to do, but not everything good to do.
Let it be done, yeah. I tell you who we are. Come brother, son. We are the children of the rose line.
The other night, we sit down with my daughter and we had to do some work, and she said, you know, she had 20 years now since we left high school. I nearly dropped down when she said that, because I had said, if she left high school 20 years ago, that means she's a dinosaur right now. She's a direct dinosaur. When we look at her good, I mean, say, you left high school 20 years ago. Then me, I want to. Trust me, man. I mean, I'm prehistoric. Brontosaurus. Anyway, my boss upstairs tell me say me a 17-year-old Cabo. You know Brian? Cabo tell me say me a 7. No, she used to tell me say me a. Yeah, me tell her say me a 18. She said no, you're 17.
71.
No, she don't. We have to suspend, you know, right? You know, you have to say she don't know what she say. What you mean 71? She means 17 when she said 17. She not talk with fact tongue. She said me at 17 and me agree with her. We are going, you know. Them two you make before you're born, you know. From IRF, you're 25. Mm-hmm. You're what, 19?
21.
You're 21. No, man, them two are older than you, man. Them two at 25 years, IRF them there, you know. And then we are playing them two from when we come here. 3 years into IRF when we come here. No, 2 years into IRF when we come here. And Sarafina was a big play from South Africa. Them tune are big all over the world when Sarafina tour. You know about Sarafina, Regine? The player from South Africa named Sarafina. You don't know it? How much you is? 28. You're 28? Nobody looks sorry for himself, you know, say I'm 28.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to the whole of it. You know here. Continent. The end. The end.
They've got to find those extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil.
One more time.
So Mark have two brethren in here. One is the driver, but the next brethren, him say come from Uganda. Come on, brethren. Come on, this thing is international. You know, say, Mark look more like the Ugandan than you. you look more like the Jamaican. Eh? No, I just look. Trust me. If look more like it. You know, so the man black like tar, man. The man look like a black man, black like that. Oh, so tell me something now. You from Uganda? Which part of Uganda you come from?
Kampala, city center, capital. Kampala.
How long you live in England?
My whole life, my family come over during Idi Amin time.
You serious?
Serious.
So you don't know Uganda then?
No, fully not.
So you never go to Uganda yet?
I'm going next year.
Look, you can born in Uganda. You're not born in Uganda. England, you're born from Ugandan parents. Yeah. The bar type of move all the time. The bar. Yeah, you say no, your parents from Uganda?
100%.
Oh, but you born in England?
Yeah.
Which part of England you born?
London.
Alright, so how you meet up with Mark?
I came to Birmingham for school, education, uni. And I met him outside uni.
Oh, that's why I tell you, him look more like the Ugandan to me, because him look more like the Mark come from, Clarendon you come from, Mark?
Yeah,
You born at Clarendon?
Nah, but I lived out there.
Eh?
I lived there. I didn't.
So you born in England? Yeah. Hey, taxi driver, you born in England too? You born in England, you can't stay there. No, trust me. Too much England people that you born in England. Trelawney. Oh, all right. You get saved. Because we couldn't take three England people inside. That's all. So you plan to go Uganda this year?
Next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
So where you do with the company now? Back to back it name?
Yeah.
Where you do with the company? Use what?
Photography, cameraman, video man.
Okay. And him is what? Photography, cameraman, video man.
He's video man.
Director. About the director.
Director, sound man, everything.
Huh?
Because you don't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
In England, they don't get the opportunity
to deal with it.
I take them all around, man.
So you're a big man in England.
I'm trying to be, man.
No, because you're a big man in England, Rasta. And Kobe, you know easy. And Kobe, I get the biggest man in England to come deal with my thing. That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful, man. So you know the project where I deal with for me?
Which one?
The one, the live show when we do in England. You know I work on it with him.
In the studio, but he wouldn't remember it by.
Yeah.
Oh, he would not work on it then.
He didn't work. It was me and another guy, and Anko always got a guy called Kay.
Okay.
Kay's still doing something with it now.
Okay.
It's in his hands currently.
K?
Yeah, K.
Oh, he did the finishing part.
Yeah, he's from Kenya.
Oh, I'm from Kenya.
International.
So you're there. You Jamaica, you Uganda, the bridge, where can Kobe come from? Jamaica, and Kobe come from, Chagwa like she come from Jamaica, and Jamaica she come from.
Yeah, and Kobe is from Jamaica.
Yeah, you is from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Him is from
Uganda.
And the next bridge who edit the last part of it is from Kenya.
He's from Kenya, yeah.
But we never meet him yet.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet, but he's definitely a talented guy. He's more, with me, I'm more the get the job done type of guy to the best of my ability, and he's a perfectionist, K. And Kobe has brought K on board, and he's doing wonderful stuff with the project. So it's in perfect hands when it comes out.
No, well, you know, me trust her, you know. It's from she said she gonna do it, and she gonna do it, and me just say, alright, go on and deal with it. Me nah think say me have to go look twice and try. Cause sometimes she send me things and I send me things, and me say, look, man, just do what you do. You know, see, you don't have to ask me if you have to do it. Just do it. You understand?
Yeah, we just tried to do what we could do, but there was a tune that we put on there called Butterpan, and I really like that song, man. Yeah, I pull it on my phone still. After that. So yeah, man, it's proper.
Are you the ask her for the dub them?
No, but I wanted a jingle because I wanted a jingle.
No, me not talk about the jingle. Me ask if I you the ask her for the Mutabaruka in dub to put.
No.
Who did ask her for it?
That must have been K.
Are the Kenyan?
Yeah, that must have been K.
Kenyan like it too much worries then. I might tell me if you go look for a whole time dub album, you know, by Mutabaruka.
Yeah, you must have them archived in it.
No, me have it still, but you know, me I say how much things I go put on something so. It's like a documentary, which is a show me really want project. Come like it's only a documentary because she asked me for picture of my mother, picture of my granny, picture of my father, picture of my father. When we come out on the slave ship.
You know what it is though, Muta? The project actually is set out as a documentary because what Ankobia did is she got all these pictures, so every time you speak, when you speak, there's a picture to show what you are speaking about. So right from when you speak about Kingston Technical High School that you went to, right up until where you was at that time. So
Glenn, him the virgin name Glenn, you know.
Martin Glenn, that's
Martin it. Glenn, the poet named Martin Glenn. I just remember what him name, you know. Him did do the interview before the show. But let me ask you a question now. The package with all of those extra things, all the show, like how long this thing gonna be? How long it gonna be?
You know what? It's gonna have to be a double disc, you know, because there's the actual main show, there's an interview, and there's a section where you take questions from the audience. So they need everything. The people are gonna need every part of the show.
So the question never gonna pan it. We don't want the question on the planet, Bridget.
The questions are it's somebody who put it like this. There's another guy who I work with who he didn't know who Mutabaruka was, but now he knows who Mutabaruka is after watching that project.
But you have a man see me in England without shoes, you know, in the cold, and I say, Muta, you really come up to England without shoes in the cold. I be at about wait, you know, see me right, you know, like I'm not like in a job you kind of what you see me there so no. So yeah, ask me that for now, like me take off my shoes in the hotel and come out of the show. You know?
People are so surprised by that because even when you watch the project, there's a woman who was really shocked. That was the first question they asked her. Why don't you wear shoes? And I think you answered.
Yeah, but that's why I kind of not like the question thing because people ask some little question. So tell me something. You're not joking at your foot. You know, they can put something there.
But your cousin Lawrence did actually say to me one time before I started the project, Lawrence said to me that you told him to actually walk around himself without wearing shoes, and he said after we done it, it felt good. Yeah, that's what Lawrence told me that himself.
Watch out, man. If Larry ever walk in a females without shoes, man, he might have cramps. Just me. Larry delicate that way, but him tell you to me write an opera.
He didn't. Lawrence is Larry's son, but what it is, I actually seen you said it on the project. You said that you done an opera in London.
But it's an opera, but it come the fire now. It's rehearsed. Them rehearse it with the orchestra in a one big theater there, you know, and that will come from. We just double up with that thing there. Since we are Birmingham, we just.
So have you got it on video?
The opera? No, it not come out. It never come out. He might try change it up. To me, no, him change it up till not left out time for change.
Yeah, sometimes, Muta, what it is, this is what I'm trying to get across to these people that I work with, that we have to move quick with our projects and get our projects to the public.
Yeah.
Because even that project, what you've done, that's 10 years years ago, so realistically, it's a very long time for a project like that.
Well, I want to tell you, so now, we have a man in California we used to. Well, he wasn't a road manager. He used to drive away, but he usually travel with the camera. And him have footage of me when we go to OP land, and we spend some time with the OP Indian them. And he used to travel San Francisco, Seattle with him. Have the whole of the footage them. And the other day we come there and say, I make a documentary, because I do a documentary at 2 other regular artists. These are the early days. Yeah. Now that is the next thing, what that is like work upon. But you know the problem with it now. Me got dead or him got dead and then the thing don't work out. It's like, you know, but what it do? But me don't know, I'm afraid because me hear him sick. And you know, nowadays when you hear a man sick, you know, you start fret. You say, boy, the next thing now, you go hear him gone or you go to hear say, you know, something.
You have to have a team, Muta. You need to have a team that.
Yeah, they're not only the team, you know, man, in England.
Yeah, I've been trying to push it because, like I said, we had a documentary which was called Uncle Tom, and that took us all over the world.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It make you come down, yeah?
Well, it gave us notice to get the work to come down here, because what it is that Uncle Tommy, the documentary that travelled.
So you don't have a DVD. I'm going to love to see it. I think I hear about it, you know, you don't have a DVD.
I wish I had it up here, but what I'm going to do is get Ancobia to send one to you.
Yeah, man.
It's a double disc as well, and that's just basically...
you love the long thing, them. You love long things, right?
You know what it is? I always think that there's bonus discs are great with projects, because once people watch the main project, they always want something else. So everything we put out, we try and do a double disc.
Yeah. All right, sir. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I can't spend up the whole of the program and talk about myself, you know, because we have I really have to keep up the time, because we have an interview supposed to go on here, so now. But I kind of feel a little further away for the day I talk about when I do, when I not do, and who I do with me, and all them stuff there. But as I say, we give thanks to the brethren them. Where's the thing named Back to Back?
It's what we call Back-to-Back Films, and we are a black, British, independent film production company, and we just work hard, and we make podcasts as well.
So you're going to Africa, go do shooting and all them something later?
I've shot a small pilot in Gambia.
Gambia. I was in Gambia last year, now we'll go back the next year too.
Yeah, but I am hoping to get out to Ghana. That's the next place I want to get to, Ghana, and do some stuff out there, because I hear that there's a lot of cultural stuff going on out there. Definitely.
Yeah. All right, Bridget, give thanks, yeah?
No problem.
Yeah, man. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM with video. You know, we just said we're going to do an interview with the sister here. We give thanks to the Bridget, the man, yes, and keep me up to date till we are going with my things in England there. You know, I'm going to go to England when I have something to do, you know. I just take a plane and go there, so that's it. We have to have something to do. You understand? And somebody have to pay me plane fare. Okay, all right. We have sister named Khalifa Sena. I want to pronounce the name right, you know. Good night.
Good night.
Tell me if I pronounce the last name right. Sena?
Yes, it's actually pronounced Sunny, but most people pronounce it Sena, so I just let it go.
Sena.
It's Gambian. I heard you talking about Gambia earlier.
I was in Gambia last year. I was in Gambia last year. All right, Khalifa. That is right.
Yeah.
Khalifa is the right pronunciation for the first name. All right, so where are you from? You from Jamaica? You from America? Where are you from?
No, I was born in Jamaica, grew up here until I was 10, and then I was taken to England, where I grew up.
Hold on. Let me say the next England something again.
Yes.
It's an England program we had tonight.
It seems so.
All right, so you live in England from you was 10?
Yes, from 10, yes.
Which part of England? Don't tell me about Birmingham.
London, on the outskirts of London, mainly Croydon, around the Croydon area, Bromley, around southeast London. Okay,
that are the upscale areas.
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
I'll be answering that because somebody can go East London the other day. One theater.
Well, East London is a little different.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's not East London, it's a while ago.
South London, south.
Oh, so that's not Brixton.
Yes, near Brixton, southeast.
Okay.
So more over towards Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Me know that area there.
Yes.
All right. So you live in England for umpteen years.
And a long time.
Yeah, and you study, what you study? What's your discipline?
I'm a natural health consultant. So what I've done is studied a variety of disciplines and combine those to help people to heal naturally and get away from drugs and medication.
So in other words, when people come to you don't recommend no drugs?
No. I deal with herbs and lifestyle and diet. I'll read you a quote, actually, which was written by Thomas Edison, who's a 19th century inventor and philosopher. And he says, "The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest her or his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease." And in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Okay, all right. So suppose I come to you and say, "Boy, you want to see my wife left me, you know. What kind of medication? I mean, you don't see that."
Well, It depends on what effect that had on you.
Well, it got a terrible effect. If she left me a terrible effect, it got for me. I'm going to walk up and down and talk to myself.
Well, not necessarily. Some people are glad that their other half has left them. Some people are devastated. So what effect would it have on you if she left you? Would it cause your health to be in jeopardy?
Yeah, man. That me I say. Would have blood pressure, arthritis, fungitis, arthritis. So you don't tell me now. Tell me exactly what you that do. What you that say to me.
Well, first of all, I'd explain my program to you. Secondly, I would do a scan, a bioenergy scan, so I could take a look inside your body and see what's going on. And that scan will check for things like diabetes, prostate problems, cholesterol, high blood pressure. It would test all your organs, systems, etc., and bring up a report for me.
Yes.
So I could see what's going on, good, bad, or indifferent in your body.
So when you test it and you used to say I have all of those where you just mentioned, what is the next move?
Then I would recommend that you go on my program. I run a 12-week program, which is education, detoxification, cleansing, lifestyle changes, and I do a weekly support, nutritional education, health and well-being education. So it's a full program. It would also include it's a full mind, body, spirit program. It would include energy balancing, and
stick up in and all. Energy balancing. Explain energy balancing to the people.
Well, most people don't seem to realize that we're not actually solid. We're energy. We're made up of energy, and just the energy that makes up the universe, we're part of that. And when we go through life, and sometimes we go through emotional changes, like our wives may have left us, and it's taken its toll on us, that can leave a blockage in our system. And most illnesses, or I'd say all illnesses, are due to blockages in the system. And we have blockages in our energy system as well. The Chinese, in ancient Chinese medicine, they use acupuncture needles to release that kind of energy. But in modern Western medicine, you can actually release that kind of energy without using the needles, non-invasive methods.
For instance, when you say non-invasive method, when you say non-invasive method, what do you mean? Apart from...
Well, that means you don't have to stick things into your body to do it. You can actually do it without that. You can use your hands, because we're energy. We can actually use our own energy to balance the energy in the system, or we can use magnets.
So you use Reiki then? You use Reiki?
Reiki. I'm a Reiki practitioner also. Yeah? That's part of my training.
Okay.
And we can balance the system and remove the trapped energy, release the trapped energy, so that we release pain, phobias, emotional baggage, addictions, and self-defeating behaviors, so that we can actually live a life and heal. Sometimes it blocks our healing. So we're unable, even no matter what we do, we're unable to move forward, we're unable to heal. So that's one of the things that we do.
So how long you have been doing this? How long you have been doing it?
I've been doing this for over three decades now. I started off in the 80s. And I used to, back in the 70s, early 80s, I used to have a couple of hair salons. And I trained to be a trichologist. I took a trichology degree. And
explain who's a trichologist, because all the brethren beside me don't even know where you're talking about, so why explain?
Okay, a trichology is treating disease of the scalp and the hair. And when I came across a local government report, which studied the danger of the chemicals on our bodies that we were using in our hair. And at the time, it was, the wet look, I don't know what they called it over here, the curly perm, and the straightening cream with the bi-glycolic acid and the caustic soda and all the rest of it. And I realized it was having a terrible effect on our bodies. The report told us that it was actually damaging our liver and kidneys, etc. So based on that, I decided hairdressing was no longer for me, so I locked my hair and changed the hairdressing to doing natural hair. I went to Barbados to do that, and luckily a high percentage of Barbadians have locks, so I did quite well over there. And I also trained to make up natural skin and hair products. And eventually went back to London and continued studying.
All right.
So that's where I started.
All right. So, all right. We know of a lot of people who I have interviewed a lot of people with the same what you call natural health consultants
yes.
discipline. And for instance, there's a brethren who's coming. I don't know if you hear about him, Sebe, Dr. Sebe from Honduras.
I've heard about
he's
him.
Coming
Yes,
next
he's in. Is it Honduras or Honduras?
Yeah, he's from Honduras. Honduras. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. He claims they not only healing, but in getting rid of AIDS, arthritis, diabetes, all of these things.
Yes, because
so most people, hold on. All right. Most ones who I have met claim the same thing, but they use different ways of dealing with it. For instance, he talks about electric food and alkaline. The alkaline in the body mean now you eat alkaline food because disease don't survive in alkaline bodies.
Yes.
Like, what is your thing about alkaline? The alkaline.
Well, it's similar because the body disease exists in the body in an acidic body. Your body can either be alkaline or acidic. You have a scale from 1 to 14. 1 is acidic. 14 is alkaline. We should be in the middle or just slightly alkaline, 7.45. If you were at 1, you'd be already dead. And if you were at 14, you would not be balanced. 7.4 is where we should be in terms of our bodies. We should be slightly alkaline to avoid disease. And what they've discovered is that everyone who has gotten to the cancer stage or most stages in disease have an acidic body. It's toxicity. Really, there's only one disease, and that's a toxic system. Once your body becomes toxic, then you are open to disease. You're going down the road of disease. So, yes, I totally agree with that, and that's part of what I do.
All right, what is the things that cause your body to be toxic?
It could be a variety of things. It's the choices we make in life. Yes? We make choices that might keep us balanced, or choices might just throw us into a downward spiral of disease. And it could be anything from junk food, stress, drugs, alcohol, all of these things combined causes our cells to become polluted. And some of the signs that people find they start to notice when disease begins is low energy. Your energy becomes low, your thinking becomes affected, you develop allergies, you get fatigued, you lose or gain weight, your digestion becomes affected, you start getting aches and pains, and ultimately this leads to other disorders, more major disorders such as high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, and all the things you've got from having your wife left you.
I don't say that, brother. I don't say about the wife left thing, All right. Let me ask you something.
The body cells just lose their life force after a while. Unless you do something about it, they just begin to malfunction. Your organs will become weak, and you'll begin to have problems eliminating. Your digestive processes become disrupted. Your blood becomes toxic. Your tissues become toxic. Your cells become deoxygenated, and they begin to choke on things like bacteria and fungus, toxic acids, and eventually the body becomes so acidic it becomes infective, and ultimately it just becomes destroyed if you don't do anything about it. And this is what leads to what they call cancer.
Give the people something specific about the acidic. What are the foods that make your body acidic?
Processed foods, most foods that you will buy in the shop, processed and what do they call it? Most of the foods you buy in the shops are foods that will make your body acidic, like these white flour, white rice, white sugar, table salt, all these sodas and everything that basically is not natural and has been made to sit on shelves for years and years.
And you feel that people who eat these foods, the body is so toxic that what
It leaves them open to the disease, and exactly what I said earlier about the body gradually deteriorating and becoming diseased, because this onslaught of acidic foods and acidic ways of life, the stressful life, even your thoughts can cause you to become ill. And I would say 99% of illness and health is based on the way you think as well.
You know, that is the thing that I personally agree with totally. That the disease starts from in your mind.
It is. Everything starts in the mind.
I definitely believe that, because I know people who will eat anything but their mind stable and it do affect them, and people who stay away from a whole heap of food and their mind just irrational and their behavior is just out of the way.
Absolutely. This is why you cannot, over the years I realized that you cannot heal the body and not the mind, because the body is controlled by the mind. And if you are trying to heal your body but your mind is not there, and it's like a lot of people will bring themselves back even from, last stage cancer. They can heal themselves because the mind is leading and they've decided they want to heal. And if you have not decided you want to heal and you're not using your mind, nobody can heal you. You have to have, your mind has to be in control of that healing process.
If I come to you and you're starting me on this road to healing, what would be your suggestion when I come to you?
I would suggest that you come on my 12-week program. And the program is designed for 12 weeks because I believe that is the minimum time you need to make the adjustments that you need to make, body, mind, and spirit. There's a lot to do. It's not just it's not just like the general medical profession where you go and you get some medicine and you're treating a symptom. We have to get to the core of the problem, and that's what we're talking about, getting to what is in your mind, changing your mindset so that you can begin to heal, changing the way you think about health, you think about yourself, changing the way you describe yourself, changing what you're doing with your body. Once you begin to change the way you think about health, then the rest of it is easy. The process is easy, because you just get on with it. People who would come along and look at it as you get a bit of medicine and you just heal the symptom, then they're going to be going back down that road in a short space of time. They might temporarily appear to heal because the symptom goes away, and more than likely it will come out somewhere else. It's like anything. If you have a core problem going on there, your body's toxic, it's the symptoms that you are seeing. Even the diseases like cancer and diabetes and all of that are just simply your body screaming at you, begging you to do something. And if you just treat the symptoms, the cause is still there. A lot of things that they say cannot be treated, like diabetes and AIDS and all of that, that's the problem. They're treating symptoms. But when you treat the core, the cause of the disease, then it will go away. When you treat a symptom, the cause will still be trying to to speak to you. The body is constantly trying to heal itself. And what diseases are really healing crises, where the body comes up and says, diabetes, here, look, I'm dying, do something.
All right. All right. I don't know if, as a professional, you might not want to say it on the radio and thing, but if somebody comes to you with diabetes, what would be your treatment for that? That is not chemical.
I would put them through my program.
Explain to me, what is this program?
Well, it's a similar thing to what we're discussing. We alkalize the body. We get rid of the core. We detoxify the body.
By doing what? By doing what?
Toxin.
By doing what? When you alkalize the body?
By using herbs and change of mindset, especially with diabetes, because what has been discovered is that people with diabetes tend to have what they call, it's almost a low self-esteem, and they are basically, how can I put it, not wanting to be well. So the mindset has to be changed, the body has to be cleansed and detoxified and taken through a process of healing, so that the core problem goes away. We're not treating the diabetes. We're not in the general medicine right now. They will give them insulin, and they will tell them not to take in certain carbohydrates that will turn to glucose in the body, to limit their intake of foods, etc., etc. But that doesn't treat the core of the problem, which is in the cells. Until you deal with that, the diabetes is not going to go away. This is why they're told that they will die from the disease, and eventually their body will just continue to break down. They lose their ability to see and use their extremities, and eventually the kidneys break down, and so forth until it kills them. But you have to clean out the core of the problem, and that is what reverses diabetes.
Yeah, this is the Culture and I reframe. We're talking to Khalifa Sena, a natural health consultant, and she has been edifying us about the different aspects of health and symptoms and cures. As you say, a lot of, the tablet them is for the symptoms and not for the cure. Most of these tablets what you get is really to ease the pain or the pressure at the moment, but it don't really get rid of it, I don't know if Khalifa can tell we have, like for instance, you talk about diabetes. You get rid of diabetes, or you ease the pressure of diabetes.
No, we reverse diabetes. We're not allowed to use the word cure. So we reverse diabetes by dealing with the core cause of the problem, so that their sugar level returns to normal, and their insulin returns to normal. And they can live a diabetic-free life as long as they maintain that lifestyle and don't go back to the lifestyle they were living before.
And that goes for all the other diseases too?
That goes for all diseases.
So is it the same recommendation you use for diabetes you use for kidney problem or blood pressure? Is the same?
It's similar, but in each instance or each individual, there are slight differences in treatment depending on the surrounding issues. Because, for instance, some people obviously may have, I saw a lady not too long ago who had lost 4 of her toes. Because of diabetes, and it depends on the issues that the person is dealing with at that time.
Oh, wait, what causes people to lose toes and fingers when they have diabetes?
Well, the nervous system begins to fail. And the blood is not, those are the things that the parts of the body that are furthest from the heart. Yeah. So the blood is no longer reaching those parts, and therefore they begin to to deteriorate quicker than the rest of the body, and this is why eventually they lose the nerves. The nerves are no longer functioning in the extremities, and gradually they sort of cut bits off, or some people lose their legs, their arms, or whatever. They have to cut those off in order to stop the disease
but
spreading.
But isn't the same thing with cigarette smoking? I can't see some TV thing where people lose them toes and them hand because of cigarette. So what is it that cigarette smoking have to do with, like, the similarity between cigarette smoking and diabetes?
It's a similarity because in any situation where the nerves in the extremities are not functioning, then eventually it rots. Because remember, the blood is carrying the heart is pumping the blood with oxygen and nutrients to every part of the body. If it's not getting there, then it's going to rot. And those are the parts furthest from the heart. So it begins with the extremities, and gradually it seeps up towards the rest of the body.
Oh, so what you do is reverse it by making it don't go further than what it's supposed to.
Exactly.
Okay.
We stop the progression and reverse it by it with anything. What you have to do to heal is to stop doing what you're doing that's causing the problem and practice healthful living. Once you do that, then the problem has to stop. The body naturally heals itself. So all it needs for us to do is to give it the tools to heal. And if we're not giving it the tools, remember, your cell is totally dependent. Your cell is created from the food that you eat, and your cell makes your body. So if you're eating rubbish food, garbage, your cells have nothing to build on. They have nothing to build with. So you're basically putting garbage in, so you're going to get garbage out.
Yes, it's scary. It's scary because the food them we're about the place, you know, you can't trust not even the vegetable them right now.
Exactly, because they're spraying them with herbicides and pesticides. And, we're living in, this is the worst state that we have been living in for ever. Where we are living in a toxic situation, where the air we breathe is toxic, the food we're eating is toxic. We live with these masks to get signals for our phones.
Our thoughts are very toxic. Our thoughts are very toxic.
The thoughts are toxic because we're in the Western world. We've been indoctrinated into thinking negatively. Even if someone comes up and give us a compliment, I know in parts of Europe you're taught not to acknowledge compliments. So everything that is good the world is literally turned upside down. And we think in negative ways. Our lives are based on negativity, not realizing that our thoughts are creative. Everything we think, we create. We are co-creators with the Creator. Just like He said, we're made in the image of God. I don't know what some people think that means, but it does mean that we create. So whatever we're thinking, that's what we're creating. And if our thoughts are not good, then we are creating more toxic energy around us. And almost everything that we're doing in the modern world is toxic.
Yes. Well, very enlightening. Where you say is now? Portland?
I'm currently in Portland, Antonio, on 34 Collin Road in Port Antonio. But I'm also going to be practicing for a couple of days in New Kingston at the Ashanti Oasis restaurant for 2 days a week.
Oh, that's where you're going to be?
I'm going to be there 2 days a week, as well as in Portland.
At Braemar?
12 Braemar Avenue in New Kingston, Ashanti Oasis restaurant. And my business in Portland is Seventh Haven Optimum Health Institute. It's above Ramtula Supercenter. Most people know Ramtula.
I will be in Portland this weekend. I don't know if I can catch.
Well, I'm at 34 Polly Road. Ask anybody for Ramtullas, and I'm upstairs.
So what you do there? What is it? What is it that is there apart from your office?
Well, we have a restaurant there which supports the program. We do raw and vegetarian foods, and recently I've added fish because so many people, when they finish the program, actually want to go back to eating fish. So I've added that.
But if they go back, you said, but a while ago you say if they must go back, but no, you
no, but you can mix your diet with healthy foods, as long as it's not totally cooked foods. Raw food is healing, and therefore I suggest to people, because not everybody can eat totally raw all their lives, so I suggest to people, if you're going to go back to eating, be very choosy about what you eat, the cooked food that you eat.
So why would you carry them to fish? Why would you carry them to fish?
Fish is less harmful than, say, meat and red meat and chicken and all these things that are pumped up with antibiotics and bovine growth hormones and all sorts of chemicals. Nowadays, they're actually rearing chickens without feathers to make them more convenient for them to pluck or not pluck, as the case may be.
But the sea is very toxic in this time, you know. All the things that are going to the sea.
It's becoming harder. It's becoming harder. But at least on this side of the world, the fishermen are actually going out and catching the fish, and so it's not as toxic as it could be. So if people are going to eat cooked food, then that's one of the choices they make. And I say to people, well, keep it to about 70-30 or 80-20, 80% being raw and the rest cooked.
All right, so let me ask you a question now. Couldn't you be eating cooked food and not eating any flesh at all?
Not eating any flesh?
Yeah, like a vegetarian.
Of course, vegetarian, and that's what most people choose to do. That's
why I'm wondering, why would you include fish? If you're talking about raw food, raw food to
some
fish,
people,
like a stepping
people can't handle the total vegetarian. And therefore, there are people who believe that, it's all to do with your mind as well. Okay. I'm not quite there yet with that, to believe that you can eat anything as long as your mind's in the right place. Like Jewel Pookrum, who came to London recently and talked. I talked to her about her. She said she's got to the stage now where she believes you can eat anything as long as your mind's in the right place. But
a doctor tell me,
wasn't well.
a doctor tell me that it's not what you eat, it's how much of what you eat that causes the problem.
Yes.
So you see that, like you can eat anything.
It's what you eat and how much you eat of it.
Well, his philosophy is that you can eat anything, but you have to know how much of that thing you are eating. Because anything that you eat is not the thing that you are eating that is causing the problem, but it's how much of it you are eating. Or you say.
Yes, well, I won't dispute that, because they're different. There's different strokes for different folks, and not everything is suited to everybody. So it's possible that some people could eat toxic food, for instance, for a while. For instance, it's suggested that if you're going to eat meat, you only eat about 3 pounds per month. Of meat. You don't eat a lot of meat, but if you're going to live on toxic food, then you cannot expect that your body is going to be healthy. Going back to what I said, what you put in your body is what you are literally using to create your cells.
Yeah. Okay, all right, Khalifa. I hope I get to meet you one day. I pass it through Portland. Maybe I pass through Portland. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Give time.
And my number, if you want to reach me, is 861-2377.
Anybody want to reach you? 861-2377.
Yes, or they can email me at seventhhavenja@gmail.com.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for having me on, and I'm looking forward to meeting you also.
Yeah, okay, give thanks.
Give thanks.
Yes, that was Khalifa Sena, natural health consultant. She is based in Portland, and as you hear, she give her number 861-2377. Serious thing. And speaking of ear, we can say if we have any audio. No, we don't have no audio. So speaking of ear, we want to play this.
The history of black hair, our hairstory. The history behind all elaborate designs and hairstyles originated in different ethnic groups in Africa. The first known example of dreadlocks date back to ancient Egypt, where dreadlocks appeared on many artifacts. Ancient Egyptians with dreadlocks have also been recovered from archaeological sites. Socially, hair grooming played a significant part in status and identity in African tribes. It was a way to identify someone's social status based on ethnicity, social rank, age, marital status, wealth, fertility, manhood, religion, and death. Twisting, braiding, cotton or wool thread weaving, adding animal fat or mud and clay were all techniques used to create these elaborate looks. Due to styling taking hours and sometimes days, much like today, women use this time of beautifying as a chance to socialize and form meaningful bonds with one another. In 1444, Europeans began to kidnap Africans of all social statuses and trade them on the west coast of Africa. Many wore elaborate hairstyles. Although the Europeans were first entranced with and admired the complexity of style, texture, and adornment of black hair, something had to be done to rid them of their identity to maintain control and dependency. Many slave owners shaved not only the men's hair but women's hair as well. This was considered an unspeakable crime to many tribes. In 1619, the first slaves were brought to Jamestown. After being on a ship for 3 months in unbearable conditions where hygiene, let alone hair care maintenance, couldn't be maintained, many of the enslaved Africans' hair was matted upon arrival. The enslaved Africans were no longer allowed to speak their native languages, do traditional dances, and maintain their hair in the styles that they chose. All of the African culture and grooming traditions began to disappear. Slave owners wanted to cut off the enslaved Africans' connection to their true self. They pushed their standard of beauty, fair skin, straight hair, and thin facial features. African dark skin, kinky hair, and wider facial features were deemed unattractive. Because of this, lighter skin, straight hair slaves commanded higher prices at auction. Due to brainwashing and internalizing color consciousness, many blacks promoted the idea that dark skin and kinky hair were less attractive and worth less. The enslaved Africans were given no way to care for their hair. In the 1800s, without combs and the herbal treatments used in Africa, they were forced to use bacon grease, butter, kerosene, and sheep brushes to maintain their hair. In 1845, metal hot combs are invented by the French and available to the United States. Many people believe Madam C.J. Walker invented the hot comb, which is incorrect. She developed a range of hair care products for blacks and popularized the press and curl style. In 1865, slavery ended, but the emotional and psychological scars lived on and are still evident today. Quote-unquote good hair, or hair that is finer, curlier, and closer to that of Europeans, becomes a prerequisite for getting jobs, entering certain schools, churches, and social groups. In the 1920s, Marcus Garvey, a black nationalist, urged his followers to embrace their natural hair and reclaim their African aesthetic. He is quoted as saying, "You must remove the kinks from your mind, not your hair." The phrase "black is beautiful" is coined. In 1968, Diane Carroll is the first black woman to star in a television network series. She is said to be the black version of the all-American girl with straightened, curled hair. In 1971, Melba Tolliver is fired from the ABC affiliate in New York for wearing her hair in an afro. This caused a great deal of controversy. In 1977, the Jerry curl exploded on the black hair scene. It was deemed a curly perm for blacks, and the style lasted through the 1980s. In the 1990s, Essence magazine declared sisters love the weave, but natural styles and locks are starting to become more accepted as well. In the 2000s, relaxers, braids, and natural styles are explored by African Americans. Around 2009, there is a surge in the number of women wearing their hair naturally. Many refer to this as the natural hair movement. In 2006, black hair care is $1 billion industry. Black women consume 80% of the hair industry, but only own 3%. Keratin and Brazilian treatments are marketed to smooth and straighten natural hair without damaging the hair. Naturals soon to find this to be false. Today, black women are wearing their hair in a variety of styles, both relaxed and natural. The number of women wearing their hair naturally has increased significantly due to the education on the harshness of chemicals used in relaxers, scalp conditions, a desire to lead a healthier and more active lifestyle, and a desire for naturally longer and thicker hair. We believe to truly embrace and appreciate our hair, especially in its natural state, and how it directly relates to our culture, we must understand its history and be willing to maintain a certain level of integrity and respect regarding it. I wasn't able to list everything, unfortunately. The video would have been way too long, but I encourage you to continue to research about this subject. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah, that was a little history of black hair. Of black hair, you know, the Rastafari can be credited for giving the Western world black people an identity when it comes on to hair, and that's the locks, when people call term it the dreadlocks. It is the Rastafari movement that has given rise to the idea of dreadlocks. And even though the dreadlocks is not unique to Rastafari, but it is because of Rastafari that this ear style, as they would want to call it, is the Rastafari brethren that give rise to that hairstyle. And it is really a beautiful thing, because before that, remember them used to, well, I want to tell you, historically, if you go way back to the 60s, you know, you have the Miriam Makeba hairstyle. I don't know much of you know Miriam Makeba, but she used to have her ears very short, not permed, pressed or cream. They used to call it the Makeba look. And then a sister come named Angela Davis and have this afro. She was the poster girl for blackness, black power movement. Her afro was so huge, man. I remember Antoinette Arden used to go to school, her ex-sister, she used to go. She have that big afro too. But that was the look from in the 60s, early 70s, where Miriam Makeba, then after Miriam Makeba, the Makeba look came, the Angela Davis look, the Black Power look. And then Rastafari come, and Rastafari even make Miriam Makeba, not Miriam Makeba, Angela Davis locks. I don't know if she still locks, but after she had that afro in the 70s, early 80s, she started to wear locks. Angela Davis, you know, I mean, really long locks too, but I don't know if she still have it. But a lot of people know locks is no more what you call a thorn. It has now become a crown. There was a time when the locks was like a disgrace. Now we say women flaunting them locks all over the place. Not saying that them is Rasta neither. And I prefer to see a woman who is not a Rasta have locks than have her hair perm, cream, press, and drag out and all these things. You know, I don't matter if a one say them man a Rasta when them locks, because we know say locks, Rastafari, the locks is the most visible cultural expression of Rastafari, but we know that it's not everyone who have on locks give credence to Rastafari. So, you know, not because you are locked, you are Rasta. But we know that it is a preferable state to be in as a black person, to wear your locks, than to have it permed, creamed, pressed, bun up, like, I mean, I don't know why. So, very interesting, you know, and one have to really take a stock of it, because in slavery days, them used to ban cornrow and cane row. A lot of people don't know that, but not only the drum was banned, but because the old slave, the woman in the house that was nearest to the slave master, when they gathered together with the field slaves and planned to burn down the plantation them and kill Bakra master and kill everybody, all the cow and the dog them on the plantation, they used to send message through the way how they design the plot in them head. It's long after the white people them recognize that this was something of a message that was taking place. That the old slave never have to say nothing. They just do them ear a certain way and go out in the field. And the field slave would have known, say, well, Bakra Masa left the house this weekend, so we can't start a fire. Our Bakra Masa, him alone are going to the house, his wife gone with a next slave master over the other side of the road. So them know, so well, they can't attack the house and do whatever they want to do. All of these messages was transmitted in the locks, in the ear of the female, in the house. Just like the church was also a means to send messages through songs that they believe was giving praises to Jesus. These songs, these gospel songs in the church, because the church was the only place of community gathering by black people, and that was the only place that was acceptable to the white people. Because them say, well, if you have black people gathered together, if they talk about Jesus, it will pacify them. But black people, even though it look like a fool, the black people them used to use the church as a ground for organizing themselves against Bakra Masa. So a lot of the gospel songs that you hear sung is not really to Jesus it was praising. It was a means to really start a fire on the slave master plantation.
Thought-provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Somebody's always bad-mouthing black men. And most of what they say is true. But it's not true about most black men. This is a praise song. Hum a little Billy Harper if you want to. But up out of my heart, which ain't no easy place, I give thanks for the births of all the black, brown, and beige brothers who struggled to get out of that birth canal and have since never tried to re-enter. Give thanks to all the brothers who know and have always known the value of family, as opposed to dropping seeds in every reachable field of glory. Give thanks to all the brothers who accompany their women into the delivery rooms to witness and participate in the positive welcoming of their newborn into this world. Give thanks to brothers who actively join in controlling births and preventing diseases. Give thanks to brothers who work unbelievably effed up jobs to secure the needs of their families, especially the ones who thought about running but never could. Give thanks to brothers who cook and clean and change diapers without fear of their penises falling off. Give thanks to brothers who take care of their children. Give thanks for brothers who are actively involved in the development of their children, who know their highs and lows, their likes and dislikes. Special thanks to the brothers who managed this irregardless of their relationships with the mothers. Give thanks to the brothers who save other brothers' harvest, who take the mother and therefore take the children, whether they are liked by them or not. These brothers don't come in masses, but are many enough to mention. Give thanks to the brothers who have no children, but who treat all of our children like they are really all ours. And instead of worrying them about the win of fatherhood, we should be grateful for the love they do share. Give thanks for brothers who love and respect their mothers, and therefore love and respect black womanhood. Give thanks to brothers who let a woman be herself without trying to mold her or shape her into a piss-poor imitation of a white girl. Give thanks to brothers who like the women they sleep with and who don't sleep with women they don't like. Give thanks for the brothers who have taken the time and the care to patch up the injuries on the hearts of sisters who ran head on into the wrong nigger. Give thanks for brothers who let their black women be their friends without trying to seduce them further on down the road. Give thanks to brothers who don't take advantage of women even when they know they can. Those who pass up the opportunities to pimp no matter how available they may be. Give thanks to the brothers who have never ever raised their hands against a woman. Let me just back up and give them a little bit more thanks on that. Give thanks to brothers who oppose rape first in their hearts and who defend black women without having to know them. I'm talking about those stalking moments when sisters ask unknown brothers to walk with them or watch them to their cars, and the average blood who gives her that coverage without a pause. Give thanks to the brothers who resisted and do resist enslavement through drugs, and for the lesser heroes, thanks also for those who are enslaved but yet warn others about the wicked possibilities. Give thanks for brothers who love other brothers without fear of freakiness. Give thanks to brothers who tell the police nothing. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow too. Divine thanks to those who will die and have died rather than betray black secrets. Give thanks to brothers who receive fame and yet remain beautifully true to the race and its image. Give thanks for the brothers who are self-employed and the inspiration they give us all as we struggle to be self-reliant. And give everlasting thanks to any and all brothers who have paid the extravagant cost of being brothers, no matter how high the bill.
Baruka.
Slavery, the treatment of human beings as property, deprived of personal rights, has occurred in many forms throughout the world. But one institution stands out for both its global scale and its lasting legacy. The Atlantic slave trade, occurring from the late 15th to the mid-19th century and spanning 3 continents, forcibly brought more than 10 million Africans to the Americas. The impact it would leave affected not only these slaves and their descendants, but the economies and histories of large parts of the world. There had been centuries of contact between Europe and Africa via the Mediterranean, but the Atlantic slave trade began in the late 1400s with Portuguese colonies in West Africa and Spanish settlement of the Americas shortly after. The crops grown in the new colonies, sugarcane, tobacco, and cotton, were labor-intensive, and there were not enough settlers or indentured servants to cultivate all the new land. American natives were enslaved, but many died from new diseases, while others effectively resisted. And so, to meet the massive demand for labor, the Europeans looked to Africa. African slavery had existed for centuries in various forms. Some slaves were indentured servants, with a limited term and the chance to buy one's freedom. Others were more like European serfs. In some societies, slaves could be part of a master's family, own land, and even rise to positions of power. But when white captains came offering manufactured goods, weapons, and rum for slaves, African kings and merchants had little reason to hesitate. They viewed the people they sold not as fellow Africans, but criminals, debtors, or prisoners of war from rival tribes. By selling them, kings enriched their own realms and strengthened them against neighboring enemies. African kingdoms prospered from the slave trade, but meeting the Europeans' massive demand created intense competition. Slavery replaced other criminal sentences, and capturing slaves became a motivation for war rather than its result. To defend themselves from slave raids, neighboring kingdoms needed European firearms, which they also bought with slaves. The slave trade had become an arms race, altering societies and economies across the continent. As for the slaves themselves, they faced unimaginable brutality. After being marched to slave forts on the coast, shaved to prevent lice, and branded, they were loaded onto ships bound for the Americas. About 20% of them would never see land again. Most captains of the day were tight packers, cramming as many men as possible below deck. While the lack of sanitation caused many to die of disease, and others were thrown overboard for being sick or as discipline, the captains ensured their profits by cutting off slaves' ears as proof of purchase. Some captives took matters into their own hands. Many inland Africans had never seen whites before and thought them to be cannibals, constantly taking people away and returning for more. Afraid of being eaten, or just to avoid further suffering, they committed suicide or starved themselves, believing that in death their souls would return home. Those who survived were completely dehumanized, treated as mere cargo. Women and children were kept above deck and abused by the crew, while the men were made to perform dances in order to keep them exercised and curb rebellion. What happened to those Africans who reached the New World, and how the legacy of slavery still affects their descendants today, is fairly well known. But what is not often discussed is the effect that the Atlantic slave trade had on Africa's future. Not only did the continent lose tens of millions of its able-bodied population, but because most of the slaves taken were men, the long-term demographic effect was even greater. When the slave trade was finally outlawed in the Americas and Europe, the African kingdoms whose economies it had come to dominate collapsed, leaving them open to conquest and colonization. And the increased competition and influx of European weapons fueled warfare and instability that continues to this day. The Atlantic slave trade also contributed to the development of racist ideology. Most African slavery had no deeper reason than legal punishment or intertribal warfare. But the Europeans who preached a universal religion, and who had long ago outlawed enslaving fellow Christians, needed justification for a practice so obviously at odds with their ideals of equality. So they claimed that Africans were biologically inferior and destined to be slaves, making great efforts to justify this theory. Thus, slavery in Europe and the Americas acquired a racial basis, making it impossible for slaves and their future descendants to attain equal status in society. In all of these ways, the Atlantic slave trade was an injustice on a massive scale, whose impact has continued long after its abolition.
Yeah, that was a little short thing about slavery. Serious thing. Serious thing. Grace Jones.
never cool. That way don't waste in water. No way one run out on him. That way don't waste in water. That way one run out on him. Oh, he lay back, not worried back. Lay back, not thinking back. Lay back, not laying back. Lay back, never holding back. Said my Jamaican guy, oh. My Jamaican guy, oh. My Jamaican guy. My Jamaican guy.
Yeah, this is the Coaching Edge on RFM. We're there with you. You know, we're going to play a tune, you know. We're going to play this tune, you know. Yes. We can see where we're going, so.
Ain't nowhere to run to. There ain't nothing here for free. Hooker on the corner, waiting for a train. Yeah. Drunk, lying on the sidewalk, sleeping in the rain. And the people hide their faces, and they hide their eyes. They know that the city is dying, and they don't know why. Baltimore, ain't it hard just to live? Baltimore, yes, it's hard just to live. Just to live. Get my sister Sandy and my little brother Ray. Yeah. Buy a big old wagon and gonna haul us all away. Yeah. Live out in the country where the mountains are high, and I'm never coming back here till the day I die. Baltimore, ain't it hard just
This is a called Magic K, coming through Baltimore, originally done by Nina Simone. It's Magic here. We're going to call her Margie Brownie. We're going to call her Margie Brownie. You know, believe you me. We're going to call her Margie Brownie. But the reason why I play that tune there, you know, is I want a reason for play this next tune. You understand? And this next tune is by, hey Glenn, your wife now treat me good, you know, Rasta. I don't know, I'm going to left her, you know. Your wife now treat me good at all, Glenn. Glenn. My brethren, Glenn, your wife that treated me good. I'm going to leave her. All right. Until I say I'm going to give her 500. I'm going to give her 1,000. You tell her to bake a cake for me, you know. Believe you me. It's the most expensive cake. I'm going to give, and not a wedding cake I want, you know. An ordinary little cake. Okay. This is Mutabaruka and Margie K. Here goes. Pretty baby, and you are the soul who broke the control. It's a funny thing, but every time you're near me, you feel. stars that shine up above you. In the clear blue sky, you know me worry about you. We can't live a life without you. Baby, come here, you're not afraid of me. Is there a wonder why? I really feel like I'm not there with you. So tell me why. Stop to think about this weather, my dear. I don't want a dream to fade away. See me attack like a madman again. Baby, why you not put two hearts together? That would make me feel like that man. Then would you one and not afraid? Not afraid, not afraid. If there's a cloud in the sky, make it rain. Me know we love together. We stand up to any hurricane. Baby, please make me love you and relieve me from this awful misery.
What is all this talk about loving me, my sweet? I am not afraid, not anymore, not like before. Can't you understand me now, baby? Please pull yourself together, do it soon. My soul's on fire, come on and take me out.
You know, say, a man just takes me away like I say, Muta, and the first time you hear that true there, you know. Brian, the first time you hear that true there? All right. The man said, Muta, you have to play with that true there. He said, the first time you hear that true there. You know, a long time that true there make you, about, 2-3 years now, it can go on, you know. It can go in a dance hall? Eh? Yeah, the youth said, can go in a dance hall, can go in a dance hall, you know. A 3 different version, me do, you know. But you see that we just play a while ago. She named Magic, and she and me I do this tune, you know.
You ready, man, you ready.
It ready? Mm-hmm. It did ready long time, you know. It did ready long time. I'm going to give it for play, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to give it for play. All right. Here it goes again. Serious thing. Mutabaruka and Glenn, your wife not treating me good, I'm going to leave her. See it ya now. See it ya now. See it ya now. Pretty baby, are you are the soul who brought me control? It's a funny thing, but every time you're near me, you feel. You make me smile, then me feel like me rap in some hoop. It's music round me, crazy music, music that keep calm and so very close to you. It turned me a slave. Come do with me. Anything you want. Anything, baby, just let me get next to you. I'm mad. I respect me, I see now your eyes. Bright like stars that shine up above you. In the clear blue sky, you know me worry about you. We can't live a life without you. Baby, come here. You're not afraid of me. Is there a wonder why? I really feel like I'm not there with you. So tell me why. Stop to think about this weather, my dear. I don't want a dream to fade away. See me attack like a madman again. Baby, why you not put two hearts together? That would make me feel like that man. Then would you one and not afraid? Not afraid. Not afraid. If there's a cloud in the sky, make it rain. Me know we love together. We stand up to any hurricane. Baby, please make me love you and relieve me from this awful misery.
What is all this talk about loving me, my sweet? I am not afraid, not anymore, not like before. Can't you understand me now, baby? Please pull yourself together, do it soon. My soul's on fire, come on and take me. I'll be what you make me, my darling, sweet.
You make me feel so good. Give me your hand by the hand. Make a visit out here in that promised land. And maybe we will find a good place to use our mind when I go crazy. I'm so tired to be without you. Never know what love is all about without you. You come and complain now if you want to. Yes. Yes, Marjorie Brown and Mutabaruka. There's an old tune by King Pleasure. Okay, so we're moving on. We're really moving on. Here goes. White woman who was living as a black woman for several years, that she has become one of the representatives to the NAACP. Yes, a serious thing. The woman was behaving black in this organization, doing work in this black organization. And as her parents ball out and say she not black, she white. She not black, she white. She was deceiving the people them for years, claiming that she was black. But you know, I want to play a Miss Lou Jr. with an opposite philosophy. I'm going to find this Miss Lou Jr. because Miss Lou have a tune will represent similar thing, but it's on the other way where a whole heap of clear-skinned woman left Jamaica and go out like them white. This woman, I go out like she black, but Miss Lou have a tune. I'm going to find the tune, you know. I'm going to find the tune. Believe you me, I have to find it soon. I have to find it soon, yeah. But make a go on. Wise.
Why are the people starving? Because the rulers eat up the money in taxes. Therefore, the people are starving. Why are the people rebellious? Because the rulers interfere too much. Therefore, they are rebellious. Why do the people think so little of death? Because the rulers demand too much of life. Therefore, the people take death lightly. Having little to live on, one knows better than to value life too much.
So we're schizophrenic when we play the music, you know. Believe you me, we're going from one genre to the next genre to the next genre. Yeah, man, that's how we do it. Watch your speak at them, you know. Watch your speak at them. have to admit it's a sweet dub music, this. You have to admit it. You have to admit it. And you know, man, that sample, my brethren, Linton Johnson tonight. Yeah, man, the beat of the heart, dub Wise. We are staying in England, yeah. We are staying in England. We have so much England guests here tonight that them leave still, but we want to play some Indian guests, them England guests them for the day a while ago. And I brought your name Kenny Winner. Yes, Kenny Winner coming through. The beat of the heart, may I tell you. Sweet, 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 sweet. Brand new.
listening to Mutabaruka.
Life for you is not moving. It's the end you're starting. Walk it out now, don't wait till morning. Bring your red light shining. Why do you keep on stalling? See from where you're standing. I know that you sorry. Yes, I know that you sorry.
Yeah, man called Kenny Winner out of England. With the England tonight, you know. Yeah, with the England enough tonight, believe you me. Yeah, so we talk about this white girl who I live black. She named Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal, fresh off of stepping down as head of the spoken the NAACP chapter over criticism that she's portrayed herself as black, even though she was born white. She stood by that self-assessment Tuesday, insisting, quote, I identify as black. Dolezal did not deny her biological parents are white, or that she has changed how she looks at herself over the years in an interview on NBC's Today Show. And she admitted not having corrected various published reports over the years, labeling her as transracial, biracial, and black. At the same time, the Lezal, while admitting she might have conducted some interviews differently, insisted she do the same thing again overall when it comes to how she has portrayed herself racially. Quote, "My life has been one of survival," unquote, she said. Quote, "And the decisions that I have made along the way have been to survive and to carry forward in my journey and life continuum," unquote. The comments were Dolezal's first since she announced her resignation Monday as head of the NAACP chapter in Spokane, Washington. Amid allegations she lied about her race. The idea someone might misrepresent themselves by claiming they were black, then earn a leadership position in one of the nation's top advocacy group for African Americans, stirred a social media firestorm when the news broke last week. Some defended her by pointing to her activism and efficiency as a leader, while adding that someone shouldn't be barred from being a civil rights leader because they are white. Others blasted her for lying and charged that she'd diminished the real struggle of African Americans by claiming she had suffered hurtfully racism like them, even though she grew up white in Montana and had used that identity to advance her career as an activist. Asked if she'd had been as effective as she presented herself as white rather than African American, the Lezal said Tuesday, quote, "I don't know. I guess I haven't had the opportunity to experience that in those shoes, so I'm not sure." The Lezal's parents, who haven't talked to their daughter for years, aren't buying her story. They played a big part in driving the story by pointing out her dishonesty and described it to reporters. Talking Monday night on CNN, her mother, Rothani Lozelal, went so far as to characterize her daughter as, quote, "irrational and very disconnected from reality," unquote. While her father, Larry, said her actions aren't those of a, quote, "normal, sane person." Such criticism continued Tuesday, with the Lezals lambasting more of what they called their daughter's blatant lies on the Today Show. And it goes on and on and on, a long story there from CNN. But, yes, this girl posing as black for years and get all a big position in a black organization. Well, some people didn't even talk about how the ear thing go, because there's a next story about how she keep her ear, so and the people them who are look about her ear never know say it's a white woman ear. No, it's a serious thing, you know. It's a serious thing. Oh, all right, I can read that one. Because that one is so interesting. Believe you me. It's among the many questions burning up the internet since the Rachel Dolezal situation came to light. Sure, we'd like to know why she identified as black if her parents say she's white, or what about that lawsuit against Howard University claiming discrimination? All right. But when Twitter really wants to know, but what Twitter wants to know really is how did she get her ear to do that? In one sign that she's been treated like a black woman, folks are questioning how she nailed the look from her bronze complexion to the authentic hairdo. Quote, everyone wants to know, how do you do your hair? Is it a perm? Is it a weave? NBC case Amber Payne asked her in an interview, everybody's asking. It's true, from her long braids to curly weave, her various hairstyles have been the object of ridicule, admiration, and speculation. As one person said on Twitter, I know hairdressers traditionally keep secrets, but whoever did Rachel's ear all these years must have buried offers too. Okay, so this girl. So now, we are telling you about Miss Lou. We carry Miss Lou going at the studio and record this poem here several years ago. And the poem speak of how Jamaican brown people left, yes, so, and go on like them want to pass white in America. But you know, when them there, so people call them white, you know, but when you go to America, it's the weirdest thing, you know. Jamaican white people who have blackness in them, but them are Jamaican. Like one part of them father, or maybe them father black and them mother white, or them mother white and them father black. When them there, so you know, people look upon them as white people. So when they go to America, right away, them get identified. Trust me, they can't hide. Well, this is Miss Lou talk about color bar. Listen carefully.
She tried to pass the white. She passing with her workmate them. She passing with her boss. And a nice white boy. She know that one with her like say she pass. But sometimes she get fretful and her heart starts gallop fast. And she broke out in a cold sweat. Just a wonder that she pass. Jane get vexed, so she send the girl to go learn about education. It look like say the girl gone work on her complexion. She no happy kind of foreign under that strain of fright. For plenty of a color girl at Jamaica, that play white. Her family is nigger, but them pedigree's alright. She hope the girl no gone and turn no poor nigger white. The girl who backed and laugh and say, it's American right. I hear back them Jim Crow Hill. Now them passing kick me white. It's a boss all about the district. How him daughter is first class. How she's smarter than America. And over there the pass. Some people think she passed the A, some think she passed the R. Wait till them find out, say, she only passing color bar. Wait till them find out, say, she under passing color bar. Wait till them find out, say, she under passing color bar. Wait till them find out, say, she under passing color bar.
One more time. One more time. One more time. One more time. One more time.
Miss Jane get news from America. Her daughter proudly right. She say she fail her exam, but she passing there to white. She say to tell the truth, she know her brain part not so bright. She couldn't pass through college, so she tried to pass the white. She passing
Miss Lou talking about Calabar, Jamaican woman who got foreign and I try pass to white. She passed with her workmate, them she passed with this, and she will pass with her boss. Yes. Color in the scheme of things. Color in the scheme of things. We're going to England again, you know.
My African lady, I'm forever Ethiopian eyes with the African smile. Your Ethiopian eyes with the African smile. Waiting all my life, someone like you, the Egyptian stands in your complexion. The Egyptian in your complexion, baby. I wanna say you're doing the strangest things for me, girl. I wanna say your ways are so nice. It's like looking across the sea, so far until you just can't see. With your Ethiopian eyes, with the African smile. Your Ethiopian eyes, with the African smile. Someone like you must be from an ancient time, brought here to be in a desert time. From the deepest part of the country, baby, or the beautiful valley, with your Ethiopian eyes, the African smile. Your Ethiopian eyes with the African smile. My African lady, hey, my African lady, my African lady, hey, my African baby. With your pretty brown eyes, the African smile. Oh, your pretty brown eyes, it's the African smile. From over there in Kenya, or maybe over in Zimbabwe, Egyptian complexion. What a sensation, baby. With your Ethiopian eyes, the African smile.
Yeah, listen to Vivian Jones, out of England.
And the African smile. African lady, hey, my African baby.
Way before, long before, way before a pirates came, before a pirates came.
The man them call him a tip. I miss him way up in Egypt. The world first scientist. Their modern improvements are but a duplicate of a grand civilization that I and I reflected thousands of years ago in creation, before all pirates came, before all pirates came. Hey.
Coconut oil was actually one of the good fats, and that it didn't cause heart disease. And I was shocked to hear that, because I had always believed that coconut oil, being a saturated fat, was unhealthy. But she backed up her statement, and she showed me some studies in the medical literature that showed benefits to coconut oil. And that got me thinking, is there health benefits associated with this saturated fat? So I started doing some research. And I went to the medical studies and started looking up what researchers were learning about coconut oil. And as I was doing this research, I found benefit after benefit after benefit. And I was shocked to find that coconut oil really was one of the good fats, and that it didn't cause heart disease. In fact, the evidence in the studies suggested that it protected against heart disease. And that was my introduction to coconut oil. Well, it was actually pretty exciting to see all these benefits associated with something that we thought was an evil saturated fat. And I spent a couple of years doing all this research. I pretty much read every study that was published on coconut and coconut oil. And I realized that most people outside the research community had no idea about these wonderful benefits associated with it. So that inspired me to write the book, The Coconut Oil Miracle, to tell people about the wonders of coconut oil. Some of the health benefits associated with coconut oil include its ease in digestion. Coconut oil is very easy to digest. The importance of this is that people who have digestive problems, people who cannot digest fats very well, people who have gallbladder problems, people suffering from malnutrition, premature babies whose digestive systems haven't completely developed yet, can easily digest coconut oil and get the nutrition they need from the oil. So it provides a quick and easy source of nutrition for these people. Another benefit is that it helps balance blood sugar levels. So people interested in keeping their blood sugar levels normalized, such as those with diabetes, this is very important because it helps balance their blood sugar levels. It also has very potent anti-cancer properties, so it'll help protect you from cancer. It has antimicrobial properties, which will help protect you from infectious diseases. There are many health benefits associated with coconut oil. You know, a lot of people are concerned about the health benefits of coconut oil because it's a saturated fat. And actually, there's a lot of misconceptions because there's lots of different types of saturated fats. And coconut oil is different and it's unique. All the fats and oils in our diet are composed of fat molecules known as fatty acids. And you can put the fatty acids into three basic categories depending on their size or the length of their carbon chain. And so you've got long-chain fatty acids, medium-chain fatty acids, and short-chain fatty acids. And about 97% of the fats and oils in our diet are composed of long-chain fatty acids. Coconut oil is unique, and it is composed predominantly of the medium-chain fatty acids. And this is important because our bodies process and respond to the fats differently. It's the medium-chain fatty acids in coconut oil that make it different from all other fats. It's the medium-chain fatty acids in coconut oil that give coconut oil most of its unique health properties. And it's the medium-chain fatty acids that make it different from the saturated fats, the long-chain saturated fats you find in meats and other vegetable oils. These fats actually promote good heart health. They protect against heart disease, so they're healthy saturated fats. One of the most remarkable aspects about coconut oil is its antimicrobial properties, its ability to kill disease-causing bacteria, virus, and fungi. And you can use coconut oil internally to help protect against disease, help to fight disease, and you can use it externally as well. You can put it on your skin to help get rid of infections, to help prevent infections. It's very good for fungal infections such as ringworm, athlete's foot, nail fungus, things like that. It's good if you have a cut or injury to keep bacteria out. It's very healthy for the skin. The hair, for example, dandruff is caused by a fungus. And so it's good for controlling dandruff as well. Coconut oil is an excellent skin conditioner protector. You know, the skin ages through oxidation. Oxidation of the fats in the skin causing wrinkling, causing little brown aging spots, are all caused by oxidation of the fats in the skin. Coconut oil acts as an antioxidant to block that type of action, so it keeps the skin more supple, more healthy. Also, an interesting aspect about the medium-chain fatty acids in the skin is that our skin cells, our living skin cells, actually can use the medium-chain fatty acids as food, and so it's nourishing to the skin. So when you wipe coconut oil on your skin, you're feeding your skin. It's becoming healthy. So you're not only nourishing the skin, but you're protecting it from oxidation, free radicals, which prematurely age the skin. People are always emailing, contacting me, phoning me, and telling me how wonderful coconut oil is and how they've used it on their skin to treat all types of health problems. I've experienced this myself too, because I used to have very dry, rough skin on my hands. They would crack, they would bleed sometimes. It was so rough. In fact, my wife wouldn't even hold my hand because it was so rough. But I started using coconut oil. In about a week, I had soft, smooth hands. Now my wife will hold my hand. If you have dry, rough skin, coconut oil is the best thing you could use for it. Just recently, a lady contacted me about her infant son who had eczema. All over his body, his face, his back, his stomach was covered with this horrible eczema. And she had gone to her doctor and over a period of months, and he would give her creams and lotions, and she would put it on, and nothing worked. In fact, many of them seemed to aggravate it, and they would scab up and over, and then once the scab comes off, it was still inflamed and sore and weeping. And for months it went like this until she'd tried everything that the doctor had given to her. And out of desperation, looking for another answer, she found coconut oil. And so she started putting coconut oil. Within a week, it was gone.
thought-provoking, always smoking.
Nice like we. Them no nice like we. Them no King Selassie. Them no nice like we. Them no Marcus Garvey. No nice like we. Them no Sister Nanny. Them a go like them rough. Them no rough like we. And I go like them tough. Them not tough like we. Them a go like them high. But them take it so low. And I go like them care. But them not sincere. Them no nice like we. No nice like we. Them no nice like we. Have no love, you see. Them no nice like we. Have no liberty. Them no nice like we. Them no justice. Them a guani. Just a guani. Them a guani. Can't go on like we. Them a go like them high, but them take it so low. And a go like them care. Jah know them not sincere. Them no nice like we. Good nice like we. No nice like we. Them no King Selassie. No nice like we. No Marcus Garvey. No nice like we. No Sister Nanny. Why? Them just a guani. Why? Can't go on like we. Why? Them just a guani. Can't go on like I
Yes, cutting edge.
El Muta, yes, the virtues of coconut oil.
Yeah.
Well, what we know, say, our women folk from centuries always use coconut oil and make them skin nice and everything. We know that, not true?
No, them I use some things with some cream where I skin up them skin.
Yes, and a crinkle up them skin, eat up them skin, and the good old coconut oil.
Good coconut oil.
You know, it reminded me some years ago, them other, I think you were there too, by Constant Spring Golf Club, when you had Rita, Judy, and Marcia performing, and Gladys Knight.
Oh, yeah.
And the Pips, and Patty LaBelle, yes, right. That thing. And you remember Patty LaBelle said what she used to keep her skin good is Vaseline.
Yeah. No, I remember, but
Yes, but she says Vaseline is just Vaseline she used.
The old time Vaseline.
Yes, just Vaseline. Yes, for real. Yes, that regarding that European who was pretending to be African in the States, the NAACP, really something else. Because my thing on that, Muta, is that no one should be ashamed of their racial identity. If you're European, be proud of being European. If you're African, be proud of being African. Chinese, Indian, Arab, whatever. Because is what you do. I as an African, I don't want any non-African to try to pretend that they are African. Just be yourself. Because as a matter of fact, I find it offensive when non-Africans come up to me or other Africans and try to go on like they are African. Our mannerisms and that type of thing. Just be yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man.
Yeah, man, I find it condescending, patronizing. Like, you have some Europeans and things will come up to you about them want touch fist and hail bread and don't worry that with me, the Mandingo. No man, just be your European self or whatever. You know what I mean? Just be yourself. Yes, I hear you touching some Vivian Jones there.
What you mean,
you
man?
know?
Vivian
yes,
Jones.
and I must tell you this. You see that thing that we did?
You know Kenny Winner? You know Kenny Winner?
Kenny Winner? No.
Kenny Winner. I guess it's a new artist on the scene still, but if I have a serious album at store, serious CD, Kenny Winner, name real life. Yeah, Kenny Winner. Kenna. W-E-N-N-A. Kenniwenna. Kenny Winner.
Right. And you know, they have an artist in Brittany here too, singing some nice reggae named Kareem Shabazz, you know.
Yeah.
Very versatile, very good singer, very good songwriter and thing.
You know Randy Valentine?
Yes, I know Randy Valentine, man. Yes, man. Definitely. You know. And you have a singer and a DJ by the name of Sparky, who is also good to come from Northwest London, you know, Church Road Estate, you know. Is very good. A lot of talent is in Britain as usual, you know, doing works and that type of thing. But you see Vivian Jones, he told me at his Earth Strong a few months ago here that he listened to what you and I and Lady Cox said on that program about GAA music and that type of thing, and that, you know, he was so pleased to hear.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. I tell you that interview, that reasoning is viral, man. People said that Mandingo, you and Muta and Lady Cox said the things that a lot of people were afraid to say and talk about.
Yeah.
You know?
I can see it on YouTube. I can see it on YouTube.
Yes, it's up on YouTube, man. People will contact me and Lady and thing and say, great, because a lot of people afraid to say certain things. But guess what happened to also? Andrew Onis was here recently, you know. The GNP opposition leader.
In my rally up things, in my rally up people.
Yes, but I want you and the listeners, other listeners to hear this. I went on Thursday the 4th of June to Kensington and Chelsea Town Hall where he spoke, because the Wednesday before he was in Birmingham, Paco's meeting, but the people gave him a lot of fire, a lot of pepper in Birmingham. Hot that I heard he said, wait, he thought he was still in Jamaica, the hot reception that he got because the people not playing. And similarly in London at the Kensington and Chelsea Town Hall on Thursday, the 4th of June, it was the same thing. But hear what he said. Yes, and this is something and I and others who know things talk about all the while. He was introduced on stage by the High Commissioner, Aluna Samba.
Yeah.
Right? And you know, she's a former PNP minister, etc. Right. And she's from Spanish Town, just like him and just like myself. And he said, and this is a message to all of those PNP and GLP fanatics at the grassroots who like to fight down and kill each other in the name of PNP and GLP politics. After Aluna Samba, High Commissioner, introduced him, he said in his introductory remarks that I want the gathering to note that we politicians at GLP and PNP are very good friends. Not good friends, you know. Very good friends.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we know that. But you know those who misguided at the grassroots level, the ones who went to the fanaticism and who kill each other and fight down each other in the name of PNP and GLP politics. And here it is, who is repeating abroad that no matter how you see them quarrel in garden house, etc. and so on, don't watch that. Because PNP and JLP politicians are very good friends. End of story, a word to the wise. One of the things that he also said was that the reason why Jamaica is in problem is that for years and right now, he says 65 cents out of every Jamaican dollar is used for debt.
Yeah.
So it's only 35 cents out of the dollar leave for health and everything else.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, he says that he never called Michael Manley's name, but we know he's talking about Michael Manley to the era. He says he does not believe in sharing a dwindling pie, but he believes in growing the pie to share amongst the people. But you know what I and others see with politicians? Whenever they're not in power, they have all the solutions, you know.
Yeah, that's why they should not make the one who lose. Maybe them should not make the one who lose become the government.
Yeah, because they always, whether they're PMP or GLP, whenever they're not in power, they always have the solutions to every problem, you know.
Yeah.
But when they get in, they either do nothing or they do reverse of the solutions that they put in. And he asked the audience what they thought was the number one problem in Jamaica. And without a doubt, the people said crime.
Violence, yeah.
They said that crime. They said that a lot of them want to go home, but they are afraid because so many Jamaicans have returned home with money to invest and to retire, and so many of them have been murdered, etc. And this is their number one concern, more than health and anything else. You know, and thing. So here one of his solutions for that every Jamaican, and this is what a blast, should have an ID. Having an ID don't solve crime problem. Because you have ID in countries in Europe and you still have crime. What is going to solve the problem is having an economy which is growing, like I said, and where the majority of the people benefit.
That reason they come up on the program last week, you know, this ID thing and some.
Yes, I am against it. It's a face guard, is a thing to distract because ID don't solve crime. Yes.
Tell me why you're against ID. Tell me why you're against it.
Why am I against it?
No, we're not talking about say that solve crime or don't solve crime. Well, tell me why you're against ID.
Why I'm against the ID is that I see unscrupulous politicians and police things using it as a way of infringing on the civil rights of people. I see it here in Britain, for example, where they would be using the ID, which has been resisted, to harass African people in Britain, for example. And I see the same type of thing that they could use ID because in Jamaica, for example, we have many forms of ID. You have people who work with companies, you have ID. You have people who have passport, driver's license. So we have different forms of IDs already. I think we have sufficient IDs without having to have any national ID. What is your thinking on that?
Well, still out there, I contemplated last week and I did bring some things to the brethren them. You know, I don't really have no special way with the ID. And I know to me, the DNA thing is more vital. I think the DNA thing would be a more vital thing still. You know, some people that say no to that too, but I think DNA is a more important.
You mean everyone's DNA would be...
Yeah. Have a DNA bank that if a man commit a crime or so, you can know if him did do it or if him don't do it right away.
Well, why I don't agree with that fully in terms of a compulsory DNA is that I know that DNA can be used and abused by unscrupulous people. I believe that in the case of crime committed then, I like what you're saying, that DNA should be used in that case. But to put forward a thing that every Jamaican should be on some DNA databases, I don't agree with that part. But I agree that if it's a crime thing that has occurred and suspected people need to be DNA'd, then I agree with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can't move a DNA from a crime scene and recognize who the person is, even if the person never did commit a crime before. So when you have a bank, when the police go at the scene and get a DNA after that scene, a ear or some part,
yes,
them can identify right away who the person there by just put it in it and match it up. It's like when you go through the airport and
yes, I know what you mean. In the airport and you just put in and it comes up.
When the immigration I look for, if you have a match in the computer with the fingerprint, it's a match there. Or when them take your picture, them will look for your next picture in there. When we match the picture will come up. So the DNA from the crime scene, put it in the computer.
Yes, that's true. I know exactly what you're doing.
Hold on. If you're not in the computer and you put the DNA where you take off of the crime scene in the computer, you're not going to see no match, So you still there bar one now to go find out who is this person. But if you have everybody in the computer, when you take the DNA and go so boom,
it comes up.
The person will come up on the name and the picture, everybody, the person and everything. So I don't know.
Yes, I hear what you're saying, and I'm thinking about it, and I mean, I express the reservations I have about the use and abuse of it still. So it's like to weigh the pros and cons, the for and against. But I see the point where you're making. There's no if I'm, but I think
if you have no criminal intention, I not seeing the fear. If you have a criminal intention, the fear of DNA to me is not something where I didn't care. I give my DNA. Because I know so well why right now, if a man shot a man on the road and rob him, you can't find things on that man there, come out for the next man and go take him DNA and realize about ratted. No Tom Jones will live up the road, so I feel him the dead, But if you're in the bank, if you're not in the bank, you have to go.
Yes. So in terms of quick apprehension,
and you're gonna go hold me and not me do it. Yeah, you're gonna go hold the wrong man too. DNA not a lie.
Which happens a lot. But bear in mind, as I said, the use and abuse of anything. So that would have to be strictly monitored, as we know. We can't just leave that to the police.
Yeah, but tell me how you that use the DNA against corrupted. Tell me how you have corrupted DNA. How would that DNA be corrupted? We don't have much time to know, but go on, tell me.
Yeah, I think what could happen is that the DNA of a innocent person could be put at a crime scene and then transplanted by someone who is unscrupulous.
But that can't do anything still. You can't take a man's fingerprint and put on a crime scene too. I mean,
really, same type of thing. So it's just that kind of reservation that I have. But I understand where you're coming from. Say
a man can't come. All right, a man can't come at a crime scene and say a man's body. And when him look, him see a knife beside the body.
Yes.
And when him take up the knife, if you say, ratted, the knife, look where, a man come and see him directly at the knife in his hand. And right away, him say, the man, they kill the man because him come see the man with the knife. So, the obvious conclusion in that, you're there on the crime scene, you have the knife in your hand, you still over the man's body, and you kill the man. All right. Now, you have to go prove now, say, really, you come take up the knife. But when you look on it now, I'm going to say, I'm going to your fingerprint, them upon it, because the man who do the killing actually did have on gloves.
Yes, true.
Yeah, no, what can happen now, with the DNA thing now, the DNA thing is you can't say.
We'll get rid of that.
No, you don't have to use that. The DNA thing can say, if the man did that struggle, meanwhile the man has struggle, particularly if the man here who did that struggle with the man could have live for the next man who get
and
killed.
And sweat too, and perspiration,
yes. Sweat and perspiration could have did it. So
yes, DNA, yes.
So when you go now, you're going to say, all right, even though the knife have on the man who you come see over the man.
Is not that man.
Yeah, because there, come
the man that woman too.
Yeah.
Don't leave out the woman.
Yeah, but you know, but how come the man have a next ear upon him? And it's not the man who will come to the knife in him hand. It's not female ear particularly upon the man.
Yeah. So no, you two are telling me that. Me
not done.
All right. Okay.
So now you take that ear then now. I have been in your database. And when you look, you see Sharon Jones DNA come up and you say, but wait, where Sharon Jones ear had upon this man here, we're dead. Then now you start to figure out it now. Where was Sharon Jones at the time when the crime was committed and all them things there? So it make the investigation much easier and more pinpointed.
Speedier, quicker.
And pinpointed than for just haphazardly and say, boy, I the man stand up over the man with a knife and the man they kill the person. You know, but I don't so many.
Very scientific, very scientific. Yes, well, is really good food for thought. That's true. That's true. You know, yeah, man. But yes, so those were the kind of things, and I said to him, listen, I don't want the Chinese have goat islands to establish any Chinese colony, you know.
Well, I don't hear no more about the Chinese colony. I don't hear about the goat island again. I hear them talk about.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what he said. When I said that to him, Andrew only said he agrees with me, but he said, you know what? I don't think it's going ahead, you know. He said the impression that he's getting is that the Goat Islands thing not going ahead.
Well, that's the impression I get too.
Yes, well, Andrew only said that. And he agreed with me that we don't want any Chinese colony, you know. And then I knock him and I say, listen, because in the past I've seen where him want to have Elizabeth as head of state still, with the Governor General swearing allegiance to her and her successors. I say, listen, is a Jamaican must be the head of state. We don't want no Governor General representing a non-Jamaican, and we do all racist colonialist history. And he said, well, it put that to a referendum. But I said, if we put it to a referendum, the people have to be educated, as Marcus Garvey said, because if the people not educated, they'll vote unwittingly to retain that kind of mental slavery.
Yeah, because they don't know what will happen if the Queen don't there. So them say, me not give up unsurety for sure. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. So our people need to be educated that we don't want no European, especially one who them owes reparations and that type of thing, to be no head of state. You know, and he was also saying that Singapore is the size of St. Catherine and has a population of about 4 million. It don't have no water, don't have no oil, and yet Singapore is so much better economically, standard of living than Jamaica.
Well, it's not a democratic government there. It's not a democratic government there.
Precisely, and this is what I and others said. And also, what he neglected, like the other people who like talk about Lee Kuan Yew and Singapore with the dictatorial system, is that they were aided by the British and Americans. Them don't talk about that because Singapore is situated in a strategic part of Asia. They were supported all along as a means of combating communism, and you don't hear that. And he was saying that Jamaicans overseas, who are more than Jamaicans in Jamaica, that they should have a seat in the Jamaican Parliament. And
should have the right to vote.
Jamaicans overseas should have the vote. Yes, he said that. And they should have one seat with one person representing that. So I don't know what you think about that. You know what I mean?
Him said that out too. Say Jamaicans abroad in the diaspora should have the means for which to really decide also on who are govern them country. Even though
yes.
Because and also what is the problem with it too is that Commonwealth people have a different status from if he's an American citizen. While the Commonwealth, because we are part of that Commonwealth thing, you have you're inclined to deal with the Commonwealth citizen as part of the governance of Jamaica rather than the American who is not part of the Commonwealth. So if a Jamaican is an American, the chances of them being part of the governance, well, not chances, it cannot be part of the governance of Jamaica because he has to reliance to both America and Jamaica. But part of the Commonwealth now, because Jamaica is part of the Commonwealth under the Queen, you still have that, linkage. Therefore, you are more acceptable in the scheme of things in Jamaica.
Yes. But as you and I know, as Africanists, is that we don't want none of this European representation. Yes, we don't want none of that. We are Africans and we're fighting for liberation in every aspect.
I mean, they come outside and say, not to the purpose of going on a Commonwealth.
Exactly. I remember President Mugabe came out of it before too, from Zimbabwe.
Them say them not necessity for that. What purpose it serve for we? Them still there.
Yes, and watch it now. Jamaicans have to have visas to come for Britain. And yet she is the head of state for Jamaica. So you have a head of state, but and she does nothing for people in Jamaica. What benefit does she?
No benefit. There's no benefit.
None.
From Jamaica.
Absolutely none.
There's no benefit.
On the contrary, she get out of Jamaica. You understand? This is why our people have to be educated to get rid of that. He mentioned about the Privy Council, because I told him, listen, we don't want a Privy Council as our final court of appeal. So he said that he's not in agreement with the CCJ, but if the court of appeal must change
referendum
from that it should not be in Trinidad or some other island in the Caribbean, it should be in Jamaica. That is what he's saying, and that should be put to a kind of referendum too. And thing. But you notice how I noticed that on the 17th of June, just gone here, was the anniversary of the birth of Leonard Percival Owil, who is commonly seen as the first Rasta. But you notice a lot of Rastas over the years don't even acknowledge or some of them don't even know anything about Leonard Percival Owil.
Well, at this moment, Rasta celebrated. It was yesterday. The 17th of June was yesterday, really.
Yes, he was born 17th of June in Clarendon, 1898.
There's a big celebration going on still. Only for ones that celebrated.
Yeah, well, I am glad because, one of the disrespect that was shown to him was when Selassie came to Jamaica on the 21st of April 1966. The other Rastas, younger ones, he was not allowed to greet Haile Selassie. Not part of that contingent that involved Mortimer Plan and others, you know what I mean?
Upper King's House there.
Yes, and he paved the way along with Dunkley and Hines and others, but he was the number one man, and a lot of people don't know that his first community was actually in St. Thomas. But the racists destroyed that over in St. Thomas, and then he moved to Pinnacle, near to Spanish Town there, and so on. So I'm glad of that recognition. And on the 10th of June, which is the anniversary of the passing of Marcus Garvey, physically, I went to the two places that Marcus Garvey last was at in London. 53 Talgard Road, where there's a plaque, where he lived, where he passed physically, and around the corner nearby by West Kensington Tube Station, 2 Bowman Crescent, It is a thing that every year, whenever I am available, I always go on the 10th of June.
So what is there now? What is there now?
The 17th.
What is there now?
Houses, but there are plaques outside each house,
Okay.
Yeah, plaques outside. So I went and paid respect to Marcus Messiah Garvey, who is my number one, greatest Pan-Africanist leader, and who give us the Black Print solution that all we have to do is just implement it.
All right, wrap a move.
Yes, so keep on doing the good work, and I hear that laugh.
Run, come sing along. Sing this song. Run, come, for the turkey pie. Run, come, for the turkey pie.
Chuck it on you mama, chuck it on your papa, chuck it on your preacher, chuck it on your teacher. I relax the barber and I bury the razor. I relax the barber and I bury the razor. So you can run and come,
but not choke it back. Run and come, but not choke it back.
a Rasta reaction, there shall be a reaction, and to every pollution, there is a solution. I'm afraid of the gargon, we got no kingdom, so take it easy, don't make no war in the cynical, so you can run a come, go and choke it high.
Lee Scratch Perry. At 6 years, me have the computer, yeah. 6 years, me, so you can't go. You think me have follow anybody about 2 months. You have Mac, me must have Mac. you have, what them call it, the metal thing. You know, so the boy, them a walk with, selfie rod. When they put the phone on and take themselves. Oh, what kind of madness that? How much picture you want of yourself, so? Eh? That you cannot walk with a rod now. You know, I like, hey, something quite striking on nobody me could have to walk with a rod for you, you know. I want that. Then I tell the youth them I walk with now. To take them own picture. I hold out them answer. And I take picture of themselves. It's the most, I mean, it's the most egotistic, narcissistic thing I ever see in my life. You know what narcissistic means? And egotistic? It's the most narcissistic and egotistic thing I see in my life. That them have the youth, them a walk with a little piece of rod, to put them cell phone pan, to take them own rotted picture. And your own picture, you take it up, Regine. How much of your picture you want, so? For you go buy a rod to take your own picture, sir? You know, so them get the people them crazy. Eh? I walk around the place with this thing I hold in front of you and take your own picture. Oh, see a light post, I want to take a picture in front of the light post. Click. Hey, see a dog over there, so quick. Take the picture in front of the dog before the dog move. No, brother. No. The system of the youth, them are weird. No, man, the system of the youth, them are weird, Rasta. What else can they come with? And they will find something else to come with, you know, to trick the youth, them again, you know. Yeah, man, they will find something because there's nobody now think again, you know. They're not thinking again, it's like zombie, you know. Everybody has to follow the whole thing, zombie. Anyway, we're gone, you know, till later. All right, we could go and play my. At this, we're going to play this. We're going to still play it.
Struggle, I never give it up, no way. The African struggle, that we just struggle, so never give it up, no way. The African struggle, that we I and I will never give it up, no way. We have to fight for alright. We have to fight alright. We have to fight for human rights. The African struggle, the FIA struggle, and never give it up, no way. The African struggle, the FIA struggle, never give it up, no way. The African struggle, the FIA you die. I will never give it up, no way. Many great men has come, many passed away. Many brave men has come, many dead today. So don't you be a fool, don't try to run away. Don't you be a coward who's got no place to stay. The African struggle, the FIA struggle, I never give it up, no way. The African struggle, the FIA struggle, never give it up, no way. The African struggle, the FIA you die. I will never give it up, no I, no.
The black man that she presented to others as her father, she said she had met him in northern Idaho. She identified with him as a kind of father figure. And there are biological fathers and there are other kind of fathers, she said. And it's just a very complicated story. I guess she has her own African-American child and also adopted her foster brother as her child. And another brother has been accused of sexually molesting an African-American child in Colorado. It's very complicated, Lacey.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I think there's other things she did besides making the statements about the father. She also talked about her hair looking a certain way, being natural. Again, going back to it, there's assumptions in that is the way her hair grew out of her head. And we've seen pictures that imply that probably is not the case. So I think she really played upon these things and understood the culture really well and understood how to play into it to make people think certain things. And I think in particular for me, I have to say, throughout this whole thing, she said something on the Today Show that really hit a chord in a negative way, that, she said, I have to be this person to raise my black sons. And I think that was, as I said on Twitter, a real diss to white moms, many white moms who have raised children of color, that you have to be actually a person of color to successfully raise people of color. And I think that that's really making a larger statement about society, not just about her experience, that is not right.
That's right. I mean, Melissa Harris Perry, MSNBC host, also interviewed her and raised that very issue because Melissa's own mother, a white mother, lived in Spokane, Washington, and she said, my mother raised me. She did not say she was black. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Police are searching for a white gunman who opened fire inside the historic black church in South Carolina, killing 9 people and wounding several others. The victims were attending Bible study at the Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church when the attack occurred shortly after 9 p.m. Charleston Police Chief Gregory Mullen called the massacre a hate crime.
We are looking for a white male, approximately 21 years old, sandy blonde hair, and he obviously is extremely dangerous. And what we are asking that if anyone in the community has information about this particular individual, that he contact law enforcement immediately.
Do you believe this was a hate crime?
I do believe this was a hate crime.
The known victims include the church's pastor, the Reverend Clementa Pickney, and it's believed his sister. Reverend Pickney also served as a state senator. Just hours earlier, he'd campaigned with Democratic hopeful Hillary Clinton in Charleston. After meeting with the victims' families, Charleston Mayor Joseph Riley described a heartbreaking scene.
As Chief Mullen said, our city police department, county police department, the state law enforcement division, other municipalities, the FBI, and others are all combined and working with us to make sure that we catch this awful person and bring him to justice as soon as possible. We just left speaking with members of the family. It was a heartbreaking scene I have never witnessed in my life before.
Known as Mother Emanuel, the Emanuel AME Church is home to the oldest black congregation south of Baltimore. It was burned in the 1820s during a slave rebellion and has stood at its present location since 1872.
We'll have more from Charleston after headlines.
Right now on KHQ, breaking news.
We are following breaking news out of Spokane tonight about the future of the president of the Spokane NAACP. The parents of Rachel Dolezal say she's been misrepresenting herself to the public for years, claiming she's African American. Tonight, these concerns are putting Dolezal's position in question, both in the community and the organization. Gabe Cohen has been on the phones for us tonight following the new developments. Gabe, what did you learn?
Well, Claire, a source with the NAACP tells me there was an executive board meeting this evening, and as of now, nothing has changed. Rachel Dolezal will lead the usual NAACP general membership meeting this coming Monday, and we just don't know what's going to happen after that. But this story is already all over social media this evening, and it's because of these strange and startling accusations from Dolezal's parents. Rachel Dolezal's future remains uncertain because of the questions raised by this transformation.
She wants to recreate reality. She wants to just invent it herself.
Her parents say Dolezal is white.
She's Caucasian by birth.
And they say these photos prove it.
She can make herself look like any ethnicity.
In 2009, Dolezal told KHQ she was biracial, and in an official city job application, she checked the box for African American. She received that job, but her parents say she misrepresented herself.
She knows it's false, but I think she's told herself, as well as she's told others, this erroneous identity of hers enough that by now she may believe it more than she believes the truth.
Now the city is investigating whether or not she violated city policy.
God knows what should happen. I don't know what should happen, but our prayers are that those who are in places of authority who will make those decisions will be guided.
And we're still waiting for an update on that investigation by the city, but it was announced after news broke of that document in question earlier today. And Eastern Washington University hasn't commented on the accusations yet. Rachel Dolezal declined to comment on anything when I met her at her office earlier today. Reporting live in studio.
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African American man.
That's a very, I don't know what you're implying.
Are you African American?
I don't understand the question of, I did tell you that, yes, that's my dad. And he was unable to come in January.
Are your parents, are they white?